for them.
OpTic Gaming just barely squeezing that win, only by 1 right there, and now we're going into yet another objective against a very objective, efficient OpTic Gaming. Can Sentinels answer back here and force us into a Game 5 Slayer, or will OpTic put the nail in the coffin and end it in a 3-1 just like they did last week during the 4K?
And so far, it's been tough losses for Sentinels. They have done enough to win games, right? The strongholds, they outslayed. The flag, it felt like they were dictating the pace. They had great opportunities, but OpTic Gaming, when it comes to the final moments, when it comes to icing up, that's where they're the best in the league, and that's where they've been taking these opportunities to capitalize on Sentinels.
Formal. Going right head first into the hill. Meanwhile, you have Lethal and Suspector pushing up the east side, and behind them onto the gold side, I believe there's 2 more members of Sentinel. So trying to take as much map control as possible, playing in 2s, and it looks like off screen, Lethal is able to get the first kill onto APG. Trippy's now chasing down 1 foremost, somehow baits out Lethal from the top tower side, and what was a 2v2 and a fair fight, now a health advantage for OpTic Gaming, and they're gonna get aggressive right through it. Lucid gets the first kill, King Nick seemingly coming out of nowhere. Eventually Sentinels go 2 down, but Lucid is jumping and fighting for dear life.
It's interesting because you can see what's prioritized for both of these teams. It's not necessarily the hill that's important, it's the spawns, right? You see all of Sentinels not throwing numbers towards the hill, but throwing numbers towards backseat, towards Turbine, because that's the spawn that you need to control on hill 1. And all those numbers, they go through, but they weren't able to win the numbers advantage, meaning that they were spawning away from C. They spawn in A, not giving them an opportunity to fight for that first hill, leaving OpTic Gaming up 1-0.
And what makes it really even tougher for Sentinels right here is not only OpTic Gaming able to take that middle hill, but now they also have presence on the C side as well, the long haul side of the map. You would hope that Sentinels would have had an opportunity to give up on that mid hill and set up over toward the next one, but OpTic Gaming already having first hands not only on the hill, even able to take the active camouflage. Sentinels, where are you?
Oh, that nade almost got lucky enough, but Trippy, he's gonna punish you for leaving him alive. He's gonna be able to get back towards that hill. Now, the question is, where is the spawn for OpTic Gaming? Are they gonna spawn towards C plat? That's not happening, and now it burns a little bit of that camo time for Trippy, but he'll take it, right? He's gonna be that forward player, shock rifle, camouflage, everything you could ask for to punish Sentinels.
Killing spree.
Big plays coming out of the shock rifle with Trippy, finishes off Suspector with the BR, and now Lethal and King Nick wanted to get involved again off his spawn, but Lethal wins a big individual gunfight. We call that a piv where I'm from. OpTic Gaming, though, they may have lost that battle, but they won the war. Now they're up 2-0 right now. Sentinels may be set up over toward the A side hill, but we're about to test how good Sentinels setups are, how good the defensive stances are, because OpTic Gaming are coming to bulldoze you forward.
Yeah, this is like a dream scenario for OpTic Gaming when you're like having a scrim, because you have to break Sentinels. And how do you do it? Well, they send all of their numbers towards that middle map, pushing through half wall. And Sentinels, they were expecting someone to come tower, but no one comes, and it leads to a break for OpTic Gaming. Suspector tries his best to survive. APG eventually hunts him down, and what looked like a picture-perfect setup for Sentinels is immediately broken by OpTic Gaming having a clear-cut plan of action of how they were going to get into that hill, how they were going to break it, and then executing flawlessly on their plan.
I think at this point, if you've been watching Halo esports for even more than a month, you probably understand that OpTic's bread and butter is that teamwork and that communication, but it's also about their game planning and their execution within that game plan. For them to understand where the weak side is and to attack it all together like that is a masterful. Now we see another setup, this time for OpTic Gaming, and when they hone setups, they barely get broken. We're talking about the third cap almost getting done right here. King Nick having to make a play and a half, and looks like he's able to do so. OpTic Gaming end up going 4 down, but one more break for OpTic, and Sentinels will lose yet another hill.
Yeah, it's just a rare occurrence you see on King of the Hill on recharge. This third hill, it's often considered the money hill because of how hard it is to break in. But Lucid and OpTic Gaming are going to do it for a second time as Lucid hits the shot and he's putting pressure right on King Nick. The help is eventually coming through. Sentinels go 4 down and hill 3 goes to OpTic Gaming, up 3-0 on a King of the Hill. Often a death sentence for the other team.
And I can only imagine what the mental game is like here for Sentinels. I mean, you're down 1-2 in the series, one more loss, and that's it. You're down 0-3 so far in this game, and although you have a little bit less than 4 minutes on the clock, which theoretically is plenty of time for you to make something happen, so far OpTic Gaming have been dominating you at every corner. Every single ounce of the map is being addressed. Every push you make is being countered. I mean, at this point, Sparty's 3-9. I'd put me in at this point. I don't even know. Like this is really tough to watch here for Sentinels in a must-win game as far as in the series, and somehow APG's 2-6. He got 10 assists right now. I'm not even mad at that. Like, it's just tough right now. OpTic Gaming clearly are one of the better King of the Hill teams in the game.
Yeah, I'd say the best King of the Hill team in the game, to be honest. I mean, this is a masterclass of how to play recharge King of the Hill. Every single team that's competing in the HCS should be pulling up this tape and see how methodical they are on manipulating the spawns, ensuring that they are in the right positions. And in that hill 3, the hardest hill to break in the game, well, they did it not once but twice in a 45-second spree of time, showing just how critical they are on this game. They are just, I'm gonna say it, by far the best King of the Hill team in the HCS.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was a great series for a 3-1. That was exciting until that final game where OpTic Gaming reminds us that they are those guys. I always hear people say, you're not that guy, you're not that guy. I promise you, OpTic are those guys. And